limited, we'll say, icing from Gatlinburg towards Mount LeConte, down through about Tellico Plains. But Maryville, Dandridge, Newport, you're in that trace to 1/10 of an inch. So still could cause some concerns.
Especially on roads, maybe the shaded areas, those types of spots.
Absolutely. And then as we go back further to the west, where we see the pink, 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch, that's going to be problematic.
All right.
The 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch plus, that's going to be a huge concern. Back from Crossville up through Oneida. This kind of explains it here, this graphic, Elena. We're talking about 1/10 of an inch. As you mentioned, there'll be some slick spots on roads, but most power lines are going to be okay. So that's probably a good thing across the area.
Yeah.
We're back, by the way.
We'll take a moment, say hello, everyone. Thank you for bearing with us here. Elena Verdine with Chief Meteorologist Ken Weathers on the eve of this system that we've been talking about for a week now. So thank you for bearing with us. We'll get you caught up now that everyone can hear us. So thank you so much for being here.
So that's good. So we were just talking, I'll go back one, because again, the most important thing with this whole system, we're talking about the potential for some freezing rain across the area. And the mounts we're looking at, they'll be limited further towards the east as you go towards the mountains and even some of the foothills areas. But further west you go, where that cold air is going to stick around longer throughout the day and overnight hours, that's where the ice accretion or amounts are going to really start to build up. So I'm very focused on those purple areas, Crossville, Wartburg, Jamestown, Oneida. That's that 1/2 inch plus amounts possible, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch.
And that's where you tread into more of the power outage threat, right?
Exactly. So I'll bring this graphic back up. 1/2 inch, we're talking widespread power outages and road closures. You could even have some extensive tree damage, like branches coming down. At minimum, you've got tree limbs sagging across the area.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big problem. So let's go a little further. This is why we said our travel concerns and overall impacts, whether it's power outages, whether it's road conditions, areas shaded in orange. So Knox County, north and westward in that medium to high.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, with less ice towards the mountains, less impacts.
Right. Fascinating. And that is not what most people would just assume. You'd think, mountains, higher elevations, they get it worse, but that is not the case.
No, because again, as I showed you, the air that's coming up, it's called a subtropical jet stream. It's at about 6,000 feet in elevation. It's going to be over 80-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the south.
Yeah.
And that's coming up from the Gulf. So
that's the warmer
warm,
stuff.
moist air. So that's why it's going to be a lot less over towards the mountain areas, okay? Let's talk about road surface temperatures, because this will be key as we go through the day. By lunchtime, we may be just starting to see a little bit of moisture develop across the area, but notice the only areas that we're seeing probably sub-freezing roads are across the plateau.
A little more isolated, not the full area.
Right, because they're going to be in the teens in the morning.
Oof,
it's going to take time to warm up. Let's go a little further. As the moisture starts to fall, it not only cools the air, it's going to cool the road surfaces. So as we get towards evening, this is problematic, right? We start to get to sunset just before 6 o'clock now. We're talking Knoxville. And oh my goodness, look towards the plateau. Road surface temperatures in the 20s.
Yeah.
This is where it's going to be problematic.
That is where the risk lies the most.
It is. Let's go a little further. We'll get closer to midnight as we go Saturday, heading into early Sunday morning. I'll stop it again right about 11 o'clock. We're seeing a little bit more. Okay, so this is where we may start to see some road issues over towards the mountains.
Okay.
We didn't see it earlier. This is kind of our narrow window of opportunity. As we go a little bit later here in time, what we're looking at, I'm going to take the graphics full so you can kind of see it here. This is 7 a.m., so still problem areas. Not everywhere, but there'll be pockets, because look, you can see anything in blue or that light blue, those are temperatures of the roads below freezing.
And I feel like the pockets are where it can get risky, because,
Absolutely.
you might drive down a main road just fine and you take one turn a little too quick, and that's where you get into trouble.
Absolutely. But watch how quickly, Elena, I talked about not only are temperatures warming up, but we're seeing it change to rain. This is our window where the roads will improve as we head towards lunchtime into early afternoon. But as I was saying, as soon as we get close to sunset, remember, around 6 o'clock, temperatures are going to plummet. Now, the rain is moving out by now, but if we get that 1 to 2 inch plus amount of rainfall, there's going to be standing water.
It's a lot of moisture lingering around.
Absolutely. So we have that narrow window from mid-morning to just past sunset before the roads really start to get cold again. And take a look by the time we get to Monday morning.
Ooh,
that is
down
cold.
we go.
These aren't air temperatures. These are road surface temperatures. So there are going to be issues on any standing water. Oh, and did I neglect to mention there's that little bit of light snow that comes in behind this?
Right.
So there'll be a light coating of snow in some areas as well as we head into Monday morning. So let's kind of break it down this way. Saturday afternoon into Saturday night, that's when I expect the worst travel conditions across the area. But by Sunday, especially after sunrise into the afternoon, things will improve a little bit. Now, I don't want to say it's fine, because if we get 1 to 2 inches of rain on a normal day, that can cause travel.
Still a lot.
Yeah,
yes.
that'll cause travel issues. So let's just say it's better than it will be Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. But then, as we said, it refreezes quickly as we go Sunday night into Monday morning across the area. Look at the highs, though, Sunday. This isn't bad, right?
No, that's enough to get you through the day at least.
Yeah, and that's what's going to help. Again, so we have heavy rain and we have temperatures starting to warm up, but there will be a huge difference in temperatures. Like I said, lower elevations, the closer they get to the mountains, look how much warmer it's going to be. We're talking 50s possible there, with only 30s to near 40 on the plateau. That's pretty extensive.
It is.
That's why it is very difficult to say exactly what's going to happen, exactly where you are.
And that's why you can't trust the models 7 days ago.
Exactly.
Because every area is going to experience something different.
You're right. So take a look at the low temperatures by Monday morning. That is cold, right? I think I skipped one. Let me go back. This is the total amount of liquid we're expecting Saturday and Sunday. So anything snow-wise that melts, any freezing rain, if you melt it down.
This is kind of a lot, isn't it?
That is a lot.
Yeah.
So that's why I say this isn't going anywhere anytime quickly. We don't have a lot of wind that's going to evaporate it. So with temperatures dropping as rapidly as they are, these are low temperatures by the time we get to Monday morning. We're talking single digits and teens.
Ooh.
That's a problem.
That is a problem, especially with all that moisture.
People have been saying, what about schools? Will they be closed? We don't make that decision, but there will most likely be some impacted districts because of the freezing rain and then the refreezing of these roads as we go into Monday.
And I know we've heard from some county school systems already, and we are keeping a current list for you over on WAT.com, where you can see all the latest with any closures, any activities for any of the kids in school.
And those pages automatically update, so you can refresh them, come back, check often, and you'll be
As
able to
I
find
did
out.
as a kid. Wanted to see my school's name on that list.
Absolutely. That was always the best thing to do.
It was.
But look at high temperatures Monday.
That's the high temperature.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, so teens on the plateau, mid-20s elsewhere, but we're talking wind chill values probably subtract about 5 to 8 degrees.
Okay. So even a little more bite to the air out there then.
You want to see Tuesday?
Honestly, no, but we're going to get there one way or another.
This is the coldest morning of this stretch coming up. We're talking single digits, if not below zero. Not wind chill.
Right.
Not wind
Actual
chill.
temperature.
Actual temperature. So this is where you really have to consider pipes in your home. Open up the cabinets, let air flow through them, especially if it faces an outside wall.
And I have my kitchen sink is right on the outside. It is cool there, so we have opened the cabinets already and are going to get that slow drip going there.
Good idea. Go ahead and do that. It's better to have a little bit more of a water bill than to have a repair bill.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Absolutely.
And you may not know if you have a burst pipe until a while.
It's too late at that point.
And it's not going to get above freezing for a while.
Right.
It's cold.
So we're going to be lingering here.
Our record, by the way, is 2.
So we are potentially on track to meet or beat that record.
It's going to be close. As we get into Tuesday afternoon, I think some get close to freezing, but not by much. We're still only talking upper 20s and low 30s across the board. And those colder temperatures will continue as we go through the week. We're looking at another shot of cold air that comes in later Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So even Wednesday's cold. We're back in the teens, possibly some single digits. Wednesday afternoon, a few degrees warmer. We're talking low to mid 30s, maybe even close to 40 in the Southern Valley. Light southerly winds, but then the push of cold air comes in Wednesday night. By Thursday morning, we're single digits and teens once again.
So we're not climbing too far out of this for a while.
Yeah, and then highs in the 20s on Thursday. And Friday's not much warmer either. We head into Friday morning. Look at the -4, 4 below in Barberville, 1 in Sneedville, and 10 here in Knoxville. So these waves of cold air just keep coming through. And even by next Friday, those are highs. So this is going to be a long stretch that's coming up. So tonight, yes, it's cold. We're down to 24. Tomorrow, we'll start to see that moisture increase. Travel troubles will increase across the area. And then the one thing that we'll have going for us is Sunday, we see some warmer temperatures. That 31 is very early in the morning. Right. I think by sunrise, we're probably closer to 33, 34, and we keep climbing to 44 as we go in the afternoon. And again, if we can get through that stretch of late Saturday afternoon through sunrise Sunday, we'll have a little bit of a window Sunday afternoon. And then just be careful after sunset Sunday because whatever roads are wet are going to refreeze.
Right. So don't get too comfortable. Even though you might step outside Sunday and you're like, wow, it feels amazing out here. It's 40-some.
Yeah.
That moisture is going to be there. And the temperatures are going back down and going to stay there for a while.
Absolutely. So again, that 3 Tuesday morning, we're going to be very close to a record. It's 2 set back in 1936. That second push of cold air comes in Wednesday night. And by the time we get... And Thursday, Friday morning, we're back in the single digits and teens once again.
All right, so staying on that chilly side, that is for sure.
Miserable.
Want to remind everyone that you do have the opportunity to ask questions for anyone who is still here with us. But Ken, again...
Our names are switched.
Oh, we are switched. That's Ken,
so
by
you
the
have
way.
to talk.
So I have to... Trust me, you don't want me to get your weather information to you. But it's important because we're able to follow along. And just one more time for those who maybe missed our audio there at the beginning, let's review when we can expect things to pick up tomorrow.
Again... You wake up in the morning, it's not going to be snowing. As we go later in the day, especially I'd say lunchtime and beyond, it could be a little sooner across the plateau. It's hard to tell because the air is so dry. You don't know exactly when the moisture falling from the clouds is going to be reaching the ground. I'm very confident it's not going to be at sunrise.
Okay.
More confident it's after lunchtime. Could you see a few flakes before then? Certainly. But once it starts, it's going to pick up intensity.
Builds as we go,
quickly.
impact-wise. Okay.
And then the later in the afternoon we go, that snow will quickly change over to maybe a few sleet pellets or the ice pellets. And then we're talking basically it's going to go right to freezing rain and stay that way through much of the night.
Impacting the roads, especially, is what we
Absolutely.
want to stress.
And that's going to be a problem.
Okay. So a lot for us to be watching, tracking all of it for you this evening, and we are going to be here with you throughout the day tomorrow, overnight tomorrow into Sunday. And is this our Amarillo, Texas camera?
Yeah, we have one in Amarillo, Texas. That's the same storm system, again, that's going to be heading our way. So kind of just a sneak peek there of what's heading our way. There's a full screen view there for you can see. So again, yeah, Amarillo, Texas. Snow up in Oklahoma City. We were looking at that earlier too as well. So we're not going to see the snow as much as we're going to see the freezing rain threat as we go into the day tomorrow.
It just fascinates me how 2 days ago this thing was still in the Pacific, right?
I know.
And just finally is making its way this direction.
Because I described it earlier, it was sitting there kind of spinning. I always say it's like a little stick that gets stuck in an eddy in like a stream or a
loops
river.
around.
But once it connected with that southern branch of the jet stream that's so strong, it picked it up and it shoved it east, and it's just on
Here
an
we go.
express. So it's going to move through quick, too.
Yeah, going to be a lot for us to be watching.
Yeah.
Again, can't recommend enough that you get the Storm Team 6 weather app, the WATE app, and even on your Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick, all the devices you might have for your TVs. Get WATE 6 Plus. We'll have some extended coverage for you there as well. And, of course, tonight at 11 o'clock. Got a lot coming
Join us
you.
for that.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this evening, sending warm and safe wishes. Appreciate you all joining us. Again, feel free to send your messages in. We are going to try to cover as much as we can to keep you all safe throughout the weekend. All right, everyone. Have a great evening. We'll see you back here at 11.